I present to you the known history of Kapyco and 23, 1891 to modern day. The history of Kapyco and 23 go far back. Our story tonight begins in April of 1891. The founder of Kapyco, Carl Charles, was born on April 22nd, 1891. We don't know much about his life growing up as he was born into an average family, not well known of. However, what we do know is that Carl Charles was quite interested in boats, ships, and the sea. Apparently, he was even one of the workers who helped build the Titanic. We then take quite the leap forward in time as there is little to no information on his life between the time the Titanic was in construction in the 1930s. Carl Charles founded Kapyco in May of 1932, starting its life as a shipping company. Inspired by his time working on the Titanic made him want to make his own ships to sail across the world with. Unfortunately, the only documentation we have of that part of Kapyco's life is the company filing for bankruptcy 23 separate times, and 4 ships at the bottom of the ocean. Now with a failing company in crippling debt, to make things worse, it's now 1939 and World War II has just kicked off around the world and things aren't going great. Like many others over the 6 long years World War II rocked the world, the founder probably lost family members and those he cared deeply about. The terrors of war affect us all in some way, kinda like right now. The only difference now is that we aren't going against another country. Anyway, 1948. A few years after World War II had ended, but also the year luck started to turn the founder's way. Based on some old local news reports from back in the day, the founder saved several people from a burning building by himself and was awarded an unknown amount of money for his bravery. Important to note here, it says, local hero saves people yet again from another building randomly bursting into flames. I don't know about you, but I find that weird. It says in the headline, yet again after another building randomly bursts into flames, pointing out that there had been several building fires and that the founder was there every time, and saved people from the building every time. And I'm not the only one who found it suspicious, because the townspeople at the time got suspicious of the founder, and in the end he was blamed for starting all the fires to save people for the money he was given for doing so. However, we don't know if that was actually true or not. It's not like the guy's alive, so we couldn't ask him even if we wanted to. But what we do know is that the founder ended up fleeing the country, which brings us to the part of Kapyco's history that is more well documented. In 1958, the founder left his home country behind and moved to Adoptopia, a newer, recently emerging country located in the North Pole. The terrain there was very mountainous and was almost like a country if each of its states was surrounded by a natural mountain border. Adoptopia has many different states, one of them being what we know as Adoption Island today. The founder was thinking of what Kapyco's next move could be. With his newfound money, there were many options. Then it hit him. He should build a theme park. Theme parks are fun. Theme park took over 4 years to build. 4 long years for the founder monitoring construction so it all perfectly fit his idea. Endless paperwork and sleepless nights, but it'd all be worth it. Before the construction began, Carl Charles became interested in astrology and what kind of life could be possible in outer space and in our oceans here on Earth, which is where he got the idea for the name of his future park from. It is now 1963 and Kapyco's greatest achievement yet was ready to be shown off to the world. On October 3rd, 1963, Wonderland opened its gates for the first time ever. It was slow to start, but as the weeks passed, Wonderland kept getting busier and busier. It was a hit. Massive time jump again. It is now 1983, and Wonderland has been open for 20 years. The park has seen many expansions since its original opening, and it now had a thriving community of regular, returning, and new coming guests. The park now has mascots too, the Wonder Pilots and the Wonder Pirates. These mascots would eventually end up becoming the main attraction of Wonderland. Fun events would be hosted from time to time where the two teams would clash in friendly competitions all could enjoy, no matter the age. Guests could help their chosen team earn points over a period of time to help their team win the event. And during events, guests could exchange their points for themed merchandise, free food, and even free day trips to the park if they were lucky enough. All was going great for Wonderland and Kapyco until the local government approved plans for a nuclear power plant to be built 2 miles south of Wonderland. This sparked controversy and worry, as at the time, not much was known about what these power plants were, yet the government decided to approve one to be built 2 miles south of a family theme park. This was not good for Wonderland. Once completed, it could scare away guests from ever coming back to the park. Unfortunately for Kapyco, the power plant finished construction 3 years later in 1986, and the founder's worst fear was coming true. Park visitor numbers were starting to drop. Kapyco couldn't handle another bankruptcy, it would ruin them. Something had to be done. Then, the founder remembered. He had read about cosmic deities, known to possess power beyond our comprehension. One particular page caught his eye. Page 13 of chapter 23. A being whose origin is unknown, and what form of life it could be, unknown. Its real name unspeakable in 86. That is a lot of zeros. How do I even say that? Anyway, its real name is unspeakable in many dimensions. Its nickname, however, was 23. The book said that if summoned, 23 would help you with one thing you truly desire, for a price. This was perfect. He could use 23 to help him get rid of the power plant and have guests return to Wonderland once more. 23 is summoned, and after long talks, a deal is made. The power plant is to be destroyed by 23. In exchange, 23 becomes the one and only heir to the Kapyco company, and also owns 25% of the company, effective immediately. October 3rd, 1986. It was on this day 23 years ago that Wonderland first opened its gates. And there is a massive celebration event happening for the park's anniversary. Ticket prices are 50% off and the park is packed. 12:57. The park is operating as usual. It's currently lunchtime, and many people are enjoying some of the brand new restaurant menu items, as the park had partnered with Scorchin' Pizza, a highly popular pizza restaurant chain, to open a new location in Wonderland. 12:58. The founder is in his office, thinking about what expansions and partnerships could be waiting to happen down the line, fully unaware of what's about to happen. 12:59. The power plant suddenly shuts down. The smoke coming out of the two towers just stops. The founder looks out the window and notices this. Strange. Maybe it's down for maintenance. The clock strikes 1 PM and a blinding flash takes over the sky. The explosion is massive. Boulders of concrete that originally made up the power plant's towers were flung towards Wonderland, shredding up most of the park, flattening guests upon impact with the ground. Radiation contaminated the air, making it impossible to breathe. Whoever wasn't flattened by the flying boulders suffocated within minutes of the explosion. Not a soul survived that day. The Kapyco founder is dead. 23 went on to inherit the Kapyco company in its entirety, and at this point the company went dead silent and was never heard from again. Until last year. But that's a story for another night, because we have a big day tomorrow and getting good rest is probably for the best.
you.